Most Blot players build mods completely wrong. They stack random stats, random range, random fire rate, and then wonder why their Blot suddenly feels inconsistent. Because Blot is not built like other snipers. He's not a Slayer, he's not Lynx, and is definitely not designed for brainless peeking. Blot is control, angle control, space control, fight control, and the moment your mod stops supporting that playstyle, your entire hero falls apart. So in this video, I'm breaking down the best Blot weapon mods, slot by slot, including the strongest upper slot options, the best final slot choices, and which combinations actually make Blot feel oppressive, because some of these combinations genuinely unfair. First, let's start with the Muzzle Slot, and honestly, this is where many players instantly ruin their build. The best upper slot option here is Brimstone, because aimed fire range on Blot is insanely valuable. More range means safer angles, better wall abuse, and easy to punish shots before enemies even reach you. The extra reach matters way more than people think, especially in higher level lobbies where positioning decides fights instantly. Now yes, Scar gives aim spread reduction, and technically that helps consistency, but Blot already becomes extremely accurate when played correctly. So sacrificing range control for a slightly tighter spread, usually not worth it. And then there's Cervex. Extra health damage looks attractive, until you realize Blot already deletes squishy targets. The extra value simply isn't consistent enough. So for most players, Brimstone is the strongest upper slot muzzle. But now comes the important part, the final muzzle slot. And this decision changes your entire playstyle. The best final slot option overall is Voxen, because this thing gives better aim fire range and tighter spread together, which is absurd on Blot. Your shots feel cleaner, your pressure feels safer, your wall angles become disgusting. This is the mod for disciplined Blot players. Now Helix is also very strong. Extra health damage can help against tankier heroes, especially in aggressive lobbies. But the increased aim spread, you will feel it, especially during long-range punish shots. So personally, Voxen feels far more reliable overall. Next, the sight slot. And this one is simpler than people think. The best upper slot option here is Rock. Again, because aim fire range is king on Blot. That extra reach lets you control space harder, especially behind force fields. And the moving spread penalty, honestly manageable, because good Blot players should not be constantly panic moving while firing anyway. Now Saber gives tighter aim spread. Solid option, especially if your tracking still feels inconsistent. And honestly, this is also why I use gaming finger sleeves while playing Bullet Echo, because tiny tracking mistakes completely change sniper fights. Good finger sleeves help movement feel smoother, aiming feel cleaner, and long sessions feel way more consistent, especially on Blot, where one missed shot can instantly lose a fight. I'll leave my setup links in the description, including the finger sleeves and gaming earbuds I personally use. But the range reduction hurts hard. And Horn, extra fire rate sounds tempting, but Blot is not a spam sniper. You're playing for precision, not panic shooting. So overall, Rock gives the strongest value. Now for the final sight slot. This is where things get nasty. The best final slot option overall is Fire, because getting both extra aim fire range and extra fire rate on Blot, that combination is ridiculous. You control fights from safer distances, while also recovering pressure faster after shots. This mod makes Blot feel oppressive during wall fights, especially near corners. Now Zephyr is also excellent. The tighter aim spread feels amazing, especially for ultra-disciplined players. But losing range again, that trade hurts more than people realize. So for overall control, Fire wins. Now let's talk about springs. And this slot is heavily misunderstood. The best upper slot option here is Crusset, because aim spread reduction on Blot is insanely valuable during high pressure fights. Cleaner shots, more consistency, better punish potential. Simple. Now yes, Obrex gives magazine size, but Blot is not built around dumping shots endlessly. And Glyph, extra health damage is nice, but increased aiming time can absolutely get you killed, especially against divers. So Crusset feels safest overall. Now the final spring slot. And personally, Myro is the strongest option. Extra health damage plus tighter aim spread, that combo is deadly. Your shots feel cleaner, while also punishing harder. Perfect for disciplined Blot gameplay. Now Blackstem is also solid, especially if you value extra ammo. But the fire rate reduction feels awkward on Blot. And once again, consistency matters more. So overall, Myral gives the strongest balance. Now finally, the grip slot. And this one depends heavily on your playstyle. The best upper slot option overall is Fleckmark, because reducing moving spread helps Blot reposition cleaner after firing, which is huge. Remember, good Blot gameplay is shoot, move, reposition, shoot again, and Fleckmark supports that perfectly. Now Seeker gives fire rate, decent, but again, Blot is not about panic spam, and Doc gives tighter spread plus aim range, which honestly is still very usable, especially for slower tactical players. But personally, Fleckmark feels smoother overall. Now the final grip slot, and this is where things become terrifying. The strongest final slot option overall is Boulder, because this mod turns Blot into an absolute angle control monster. Extra fire rate, better moving spread, and armor penetration. That combination makes follow-up pressure way scarier, especially during force field fights. Now Cronus is also very strong. The spread reduction feels incredible, but sacrificing range again, still painful. So personally, Boulder feels more oppressive overall. And honestly, this is why Blot weapon mods matter so much. Because bad mods make Blot feel clunky, good mods make Blot feel dangerous. But perfect mods, they make enemies afraid to push you at all. And remember, mods alone won't magically fix bad positioning. You still need discipline, prediction, good wall timing, and intelligent rotations. Because Blot is one of the few heroes in Bullet Echo where intelligence still beats aggression. So if you want your Blot to actually feel dominant, stop building random stats. Build for control, consistency, pressure, punishment. And before ending, here are some of the strongest Blot weapon mod combinations you can experiment with. Brinkstone plus fire plus Myral plus Boulder for maximum pressure and control. Voxen plus fire plus Myral plus Fleckmark for cleaner tactical consistency. Or Rock plus Crosser plus Boulder if you want safer repositioning and stronger punish shots. Experiment, adapt, and find the version that fits your decision-making best. Because the strongest Blot players don't just copy builds, they weaponize them. Last stand isn't luck, it's control.